Thanks so much. The Knicks win their third straight. I'm here with our NBA insider, Ian Begley. And Ian, this was a close one until the very end of the fourth quarter. What has gone right during this three-game win streak?
One thing you're seeing, I think, is defensively, this team executing in ways that it hadn't. Going back to that Dallas game when they were 2-9 in that 11-game stretch, players talked after that game. One of the themes of that discussion was defense, get stops, be tied together. And whether it was a players-only meeting or it wasn't, it seemed to have some kind of effect here because the defense has been strong these last three games. Obviously, you have to score points, but defense, I think, is ultimately where things swing for this Knicks team and where it'll determine how far they can go in the postseason if they can get these stops.
Yeah, for Karl-Anthony Towns, he sat a lot of that fourth quarter, and Mike Brown said after the game that he attributed it to the fact that they played back-to-back games. What's your take on it?
It's interesting. Mike Brown has not hesitated to go with a lineup that he thinks is working late in games, regardless of who it is out there. You've seen Mikal Bridges sit late in these games. You've seen Karl Towns sit late in these games. And it's kind of a departure from what you saw in past regimes, even across the NBA. I think a lot of head coaches are hesitant to sit their stars, their top players. Mike Brown has not been hesitant to do that, and it's worked more often than not.
Yeah, well, the trade deadline is coming up, and there's a lot of rumors swirling about Jrue Holiday and the Knicks. It's a week from Thursday, so what are you hearing?
Yeah, my understanding on Jrue Holiday is, the teams that are in on Giannis, want to be in on Giannis, believe that Giannis would want to be reunited with Jrue Holiday. So I think that's where some of this noise is coming. It's not just Jrue Holiday, it's more so connected to Giannis. And so, if you're a team like the Knicks or another team that's interested in Giannis Antetokounmpo, maybe you want to acquire Jrue Holiday to make yourselves more attractive for a player like Giannis. But that's a big deal, a lot of hurdles to cross before you even get into those conversations. One thing I should note, though, about the deadline is the Knicks do remain strongly interested in Jose Alvarado out of New Orleans, getting some backup point guard help and depth off of that bench. So I think that is a name to keep an eye on as we get closer to the deadline.
Definitely. Well, they have 5 games left until that trade deadline. For Ian Begley, I'm Michelle Margaux.
John Jastremski joins us now, and the Knicks have now won 3 in a row after losing 9-11. So, JJ, how much better are you feeling about this club now?
After this game I saw against the Sacramento Kings, despite what the final score may have said, Eamon, I'm not feeling great about what I saw Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks were a disjointed, sloppy basketball team for the better part of 3.5 quarters. The Sacramento Kings are one of the worst teams that the NBA has to offer. That game should be signed, sealed, delivered, as Stevie Wonder once said, from Jump Street. The idea that the Knicks are turning the ball over 17 or 18 times, you had guys out of position. There was a whole lot of finger pointing. Yeah, it's great they did what they needed to do at the end of this game, but it's not an encouraging performance about the idea that this team has all of a sudden found something. You could have sold me on that Saturday with the win at Philadelphia against a quality opponent. This game against the Kings was as sloppy as it gets.
Yeah, lackluster first 3 quarters. Knicks were up 4 with 6:51 left in the game. Karl-Anthony Towns goes to the bench, and the Knicks close it out with a 21-9 run without Towns. So, JJ, how imperative is it that Mike Brown and the Knicks fix what's not working right now with Karl-Anthony Towns?
Super imperative. We love to say, is it something or nothing? It is clearly something, Eamon, that we saw the Knicks play their best basketball of this game the minute Karl-Anthony Towns left the game. And I saw in the highlight package moments ago, he drained a 3. You know what he also did? He bricked a couple of 3s right after the fact, and they were terrible, terrible shots. And Mike Brown wisely made the choice. Jalen Brunson comes back after his rest. All of a sudden, the lineup has Mitchell Robinson closing out the game, and the Knicks are playing much better basketball. So the Knicks can try to deny this again and again and again. Karl-Anthony Towns is not playing the same level of basketball that we saw a year ago. He's clearly off. The vibe is clearly off. And if this is going to be a team that gets to the NBA Finals, they have to figure it out. Because if they don't have Cat at his very best, they're not beating the likes of Detroit, Philadelphia, and Boston.